All right, hello everyone. I'm Anna, and I'm basically interviewing all my classmates, my novice classmates, yeah, like Lucia. But we're gonna be talking about some language and cultural experiences that we have been experiencing around our trips, basically to Australia in your case, and in my case, in different countries. But today we're not about to talk about myself. We want to talk about their experiences that I love to hear, and probably we want to learn something. I'm sure. Okay?
Yeah.
The questions are just a guide. Okay, so the first question that I wanted to ask you girls was about what motivates you to study abroad in another country. So before answering the question, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello guys, my name is Lucia. I am from Colombia. I came here 9 months ago.
Oh,
And that's it.
oh, that's quite neat. And what are you studying?
Okay, thank you. I am studying a diploma in software development.
Nice.
All right.
And you?
Hi everyone. My name is Joy. I'm from Philippines. I'm a registered nurse in the Philippines, and I've been here since 2019 and the COVID times, and until now I'm still here. I finished Cert 3 of individual sport and Cert 4 of aged care, and then now I'm doing advanced diploma of engineering.
Which is so much fun.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, Joy and I in the same class. She's the clever one, I'm the dumbest one. Talking about what motivates you to move to another country and study, what would you say about that?
So I wanted, like at first, I was studying civil engineering in Colombia, and then I changed my major to software development because I like it. So back home, I was doing the same, software engineering.
Oh,
And I research in my university, like Colombia, or my university, they have like relationships with many countries like Europe and also Australia. So at first I wanted to go to Germany because Germany is where engineering was born. Like yes.
all the engineers.
All the engineers
comes from it.
comes from Germany, and also Japan are very good. Japan is very good at engineering as well. And so I had those two options, and I started, like, Japanese is very hard. So I started to learn.
Yeah, and Germany also.
Yeah, and German is also hard. But I started learning German because it's cheaper. If I go there, it was cheaper. But then, like, cheaper is not that cheaper. But I
It was
started,
possible.
but I struggled like learning a third language because I knew, like, back home they teach from the school English, but the English is not very good. But I had the basis, so I had those two options: either Australia or Germany. And at the end, I preferred Australia, even if it is a bit expensive than Germany. But I chose Australia because of the language. Because
You don't have to study it.
I had to study, but not that much.
Not like from
Like not from
yeah,
the beginning.
from the beginning.
At least I had the basis from
The
the
basic,
school.
yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, German is quite hard as well. German,
Yeah.
sorry.
Mm.
And what about you? What inspires you?
What inspired me? I mean, no one really inspired me. Just pushes me to come here. Um, First is my family, because my brother is already here, but still a student also. And my parents want me to come here because like, oh, you will have a good future because it's a good country, and then your brother is there, and then my colleague also is like applying here, and he is like, come on, let's go to Australia because there's no IELTS and show money, because I'm scared of like English exam. So it's like, oh really? Okay, yeah, I will try it.
Sorry to interrupt. So when you applied for your visa, you didn't have to do the IELTS.
No.
All right, because now we do have
yeah,
to.
or
Yeah.
any other English exam. So
Yeah.
it's like, because that's one thing I'm scared of, going to the other country if it requires that.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
I'm not confident with my how I speak like in English.
Mhm.
So it's like, oh really? And then, all right, I would try. And then I try, and then I apply for my visa, and then it's like, after 2 days, I think I was approved. It's like, oh cool. And then I come here, and I was excited because like, oh, what it looks like, it's a different country. So that's it.
Oh, it's very
okay.
interesting because, sorry for interrupting.
No, it's
as well,
all right.
but yeah, I have noticed like you guys, like for example in South America, they teach us in the school, they teach us English, but no as much as in the Philippines. I have heard that in the Philippines
We use
You gu-
English at
you
school.
use English in the
Yeah.
school in all the subjects, right?
Yeah, and then now I think 1 year ago they start to use a dialect, because it's like we forget about it. We don't know it like as much as the older people. So they try to incorporate it in the elementary school,
Oh.
because we usually use English in all subjects. That's why it's so hard.
So I think that's why
Interesting.
for the Philippines don't ask, for example, in our school,
Yeah.
people from Philippines, they didn't like the school didn't ask IELTS for them.
Oh,
but
yes.
for me they asked
Yeah.
the IELTS. So
Yes.
I had to do it. I
Yeah.
had to do the IELTS.
This is the
Ah.
thing. Yeah. So it's good
Uh-huh.
to let people know that depends the country that you coming from. Immigration wanna ask you for English test. So that's why probably they didn't ask you. So all
Exactly.
right.
That's why, because maybe the education in English in the Philippines is better than in South America. So that's
No.
why. Oh, I'm not sure.
No,
Oh,
they
no.
ask. They say. I mean, I don't know if it's better or not, but the thing is, apparently, if you grew up with a language, like if you do your studies in a second language, then that's fine. But we don't have English as a second language in South America. We learn English as a subject, which is different.
Exactly.
So question two is, what has been the biggest challenge you faced as an international student, and how you overcome it, if you did it?
Like, because English is my second language, is very hard to, like, you can do it, but it is hard to understand technical language
Like technical
in
vocabulary,
English,
maybe?
technical vocabulary or technical language, or yeah. In, like, for example, I learned I don't know how to say it, but yes, like for example, how to, if we are learning maths, how to say a, what is an even number, for example.
Oh, right, yes.
Or how to, what do you say, like 1 + 1, like plus, what is the meaning of plus,
Okay.
or minus,
Yeah.
those type of language. Like, I don't learn that. I just learn like how to communicate, but not the technical language in English.
Yeah, like this
So
so specific.
that very specific. So that is the challenge for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
You?
My challenges here is when I arrive here, maybe finding a job. That's the best one, because we're not rich. So it's hard to find a job because all your qualifications in your country is not recognized here. So you have to make a resume that have to like lie that I have experience of like cleaning stuff so that we can apply for like a cleaning job or a housekeeping, and then you have to like um, talk to your references, the people that you put in your resume that it's like I put this stuff because it's hard to find a job.
Yeah.
So I think, and then the bills also here is like weekly, especially the rent, because in the Philippines it's per month. So it's like I you have to really adjust and budget your money. Budgeting is the best one that
it's the biggest issue.
yeah. That when you're like arrive here.
Yes.
Because you have weekly bills, then you have school, you have limited hours to work. So you have to really like the budget is so tight and you have to stick on your budget. And if you don't have a job, or if you don't get all the 24 hours, it's so hard. Yeah.
Yes.
So
like
I
we
think-
actually doing like miraculous with the money that
you
we
need
get.
you need to find a lot of ways, or whatever job that you could get, whatever or how much is the rate.
Yeah.
We don't care as long as you can get some money out of it, you know.
Yeah, I do
think
agree
that-
with that, and I think that's really it's actually very important that you mentioned this, because on social media, all what we see is people talking about like, oh yeah, you come to Australia and you want to make this money or this amount of money and you want to have plenty of job, which is not true. You have to think about what's your visa situation, what you're coming
And
for,
restrictions, yeah.
and restrictions. Like not everyone is in the same path, and that's why your
Yep.
ideas or your life gonna be absolutely different to others.
Yeah, I think you will be lucky if you know someone here.
Yes.
Because it's not what you know, it's who you know here.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Would you like to say something else on it?
No.
All right. So I think another thing that it would be good if you guys can share an advice for someone who wants to study abroad or maybe to study in Australia. What would you say? What would you advise them?
Yo, first of all, I would like, or I would love someone had told me this before I come here, is to get my driving license. Because in Colombia or in other countries, the transport is very good. And here is crazy because this is a beautiful country and yes, a very advanced country, but the public transport is not good.
It's terrible.
So it's terrible.
It's just horrible.
It's just horrible.
That's true.
Like if you have a car, would be easier. Your life would be easier, and if you have a license, would be easier to get a Australian a license straight away. Because if you don't have a license, like me, I am learning how to drive. You have to the process is like 2 years, around 2 years. You have to, of course, it's depending of your age or whatever, but usually you have to do 100 hours.
Yeah.
If you are less than 25 years old.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So get your license before
Yeah.
come to
So
to Australia.
I'll actually to any country, it's true.
Yeah.
What about you, Joy?
What is that? What is my advice?
Your advice.
My advice is know what is your goal. If you want to become a permanent resident here or not, what is your pathway? Talk to some people who already here. What is their first step or they experience when they arrive here? So you have any idea what is life look like, the real life, not just what your agent said. And then
Full
yeah.
of truth.
Yes.
just write it down, your goal and the steps that you're like the steps towards on that goal. Because there's a lot of people come here and then what course they get here is there's no pathway to that, to the permanent residency if you want to stay here. So I think you have to like research what course you are getting here to in line with your goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wanted like you make me think like for the people who want to come here, also not only to choose the right course, it's also the right course to go to the
The
to
permanent
become the
residence, the
permanent
PR.
resident, the PR. But not only that, is to choose a course that you really like or you are going to enjoy, because I think a lot of, like, many students, they leave their courses or they struggle a lot because they choose badly, or they choose wherever, or they just do what their agencies say, and then you are registered in a course that you don't like, and you want to leave it, and you cannot leave it, because if you leave it, your visa is going to be canceled. So try to, like, the course that you are going to choose, try or make sure that
You are sure about that
you
decision.
really want to do it, or you are going to enjoy it. Like, the main thing is to enjoy your staying here in Australia.
Like that, I would be agree with that. And I was actually like taking notes from my mind about something that you said, Angie, and it's about like, one is true that you have to be very sure about what course you want to take, and try to choose something that you like. But at the same time, we have to be a little bit wise and a little bit. Sometimes, if we want something, it doesn't really go straight to what we like.
To our goal too.
Sometimes, for example, in my case, I chose engineering not because I like it. I didn't even know about engineering thing, and I really am like struggling with it. But at the same time, it was the best decision, because that is what it wanna give me the PR, and I know that we are sure that the PR wanna arrive with it. So like, you have to be like sure about something that you like, but at the same time try to be a little bit clever, because sometimes
be
if we do
practical,
something, if we do things that no won't give you the PR, and you choose the things that you like, so we have to be in balance.
It should be in line with what is your goal. A courses that you like and in line with your goal that you want to get a result.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the agent thing is, make sure about the agents. You actually, if you want to come out to Australia, you don't need an agent, to be honest. I have traveled to, I don't know, 10 countries right now, and I haven't used any agent. So do your own research. That would be advice. The last question, guys, before we go, is Ida. For it's what main difference you see between the education system in your country and here? And the other one is, how has your perspective on your own culture changed after interacting with people from other countries?
Yes. So, for example, in Colombia, it is very important to have a degree, not a technician, a degree, and a degree for them is the top. And here in Australia, the degree is important, of course, but it's more important the experience that you have. Like, if you have experience, like I have seen, like, you can do diplomas in universities like UQT or
Griffith
Griffith. If you prove that you have, like, for me, like, for example, in software development, if you have 5 years working as software developer, they don't ask you for a degree. So the degree, the title is just like
paperwork.
Paperwork. So
that has changed.
So that has changed, because in Colombia, you have a paperwork, like a title, a degree. Oh, wow. But here it's more important experience than
what you have.
What you have, how many certifications you have. The certifications are not that important, are more important the experience here. So that changed to my mind, because I always was looking for a degree. I have to have a degree. I have to, because I live my career, I live my major. I was about to finish and I left and I didn't finish because I came here. But I changed my perspective, because here is more important the experience than a degree.
The actual degree.
The actual degree, like the paper, like the experience, your knowledge is more important.
More important here, the knowledge.
Yes, knowledge.
Like
if
in
you
terms
have 5 years,
of-
if you prove that you have been working more than
5
5 years
Mhm.
in
Oh,
your
because
in
they
your
have
field,
you have they have an equivalent level of
Mhm.
like
Exactly.
something
they
like
have
that.
an equivalent. Either
Mm.
you have a degree or either you have experience 5 years
But you have to
as
prove it.
certification. You
Mhm.
have to prove it.
Exactly.
But if you have that,
Yeah.
you can
Like
do.
no one gonna be around like, oh, what degree do you have? Like
Yes, exactly.
instead of okay, what did you do? What are actual things you do?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
The difference between my education system in my country, in the Philippines, and here is a bit different. In the degree in because I'm just doing a certificate here, maybe that's the difference. I think in the na tertiary school in my country, it's like 4 to 5 years too. We have a theory and we have a practical thing, but I can only compare it to my cert for in this college, not with a TAFE or something, because I haven't really did a
So what
college.
you wanna talk about? Sorry. So what you wanna talk about your experience in your country and the college that you have been, which has only been AIS basically.
In here,
In here. Okay. Yeah.
yeah. So the difference is they are more practical here. Like it's like direct to the or focus on the topics that you have to learn so that you can practice that one in field.
Mm.
And the good thing about our college also is they have a teacher that we could ask, but they said normally the other school doesn't have a teacher. You can just they will just usually give you a assessment or something that you can like research and then send it. I don't really like the. I mean, I like the system here. At the same time, there are some redundancy or something, but I mean that is just for me because I think that is just one of the requirements of the government maybe
Yeah.
for them. And then the second one is how I change my perspective after
Of your
I mean,
culture,
yep.
yeah.
I mean, I've changed a lot, like a
Me
lot.
too.
I come here and I'm not really good in English. I'm shy to like communicate with people, but what I did is like challenge myself to like go and talk with people who lives here who have like a native English is their native language. And every time there's like a gathering, I always go to or socialize with like Australian people or English people here because because I believe that that's one way for me to help myself in
Yeah.
how to like communicate and learn the culture, understand them, and also I've learned how to like do a journal here. My God, I don't normally do that. Like doing a daily plan and then write your goals and all this stuff. Like plan your week or months. I don't normally do that, but when I came here, someone like taught me that, and then it's really helpful.
Oh, sorry. So you mean like you weren't used to
No.
do journals, but now
when
that
I
you're
met,
here,
yeah, a
you
lot of
started
people,
to do it.
yeah, they normally do that, and it's a normal thing here that you, do your daily plan, and then your schedule is like, I don't normally do that. I just
Yeah.
usually, maybe next week or tomorrow or whatever, we're gonna go there or do these things. But
Yeah.
here, it's like you have to plan it
Yeah.
because your work and your schedule is pretty
Yeah.
like tight. You have to like, I don't know. I feel
To
like,
schedule everything.
yeah, it's like
Well,
pretty
it's
busy
true.
here.
It's true. Happens to me as well. Like because obviously my startup, I have to plan and organize things. So I learned to do it. But it's true that like in other countries, at least in South America, we're not very organized. We wanna be like, hey, you need to catch up today, and that's it, and we just catch up. Or maybe we just appear to the person's
Yeah.
house.
And people here, they are readers. A lot of people here are readers. I'm not a reader person, but I met someone who's like teach me how to read. But yeah, and then like push me to read but I don't really like it. But I tried, and then there's like one book that so interesting because it's like about facts about lives. I'm interested with that, like how it helps me with my daily life, something. So I started to read it, and then I like to read now, but only a facts book, not a fiction
Yeah.
books. Books that I could use it in my daily lives, and then also I'm also really conscious here now. I'm like my awareness, self-awareness, like people, like I'm so aware now that I don't know, people here are so aware with themselves because especially with my job, I was surprised that I have some clients who are really aware of themselves, and it
Oh,
makes me
actually-
aware too. That it's like,
Yeah.
wow,
So could you
They
explain
know.
like to people what is your job like at the moment before you go as an engineer and work in an office?
yeah, my work is like a support worker or like carer.
She makes money. No, that's true.
All of us make money. It's just how we save it, how we budget it, and stick
Yeah.
to it. Yeah, I'm really conscious, and that's one of my not one of my first job, but one of the best job I could say. It's a challenging job, and also like it makes you feel happy about it if you like really help them, uh, because they're not all physically disabled clients. Some are mentally disabled clients, or they call it psychosocial here. But yeah, they're so challenging, and like what is the signs that they were gonna do these things, that they feel this way and it might happen this, and it's like it makes me uh think that it's like, wow, they are so aware of themselves, like how they know these things. So I'm so curious, and I started to like be conscious of myself too, what I say, what I do, and then yeah, I think from those experience, yeah, it's pretty good to be aware because it really affects to everyone what you say, the words that you say, and how you say it. It really affects everyone in your environment. So
Yeah. I actually think it's true. That probably here people are more
Oh my
user
God.
aware
Yes.
about like, oh, if I say this in this way, might impact on someone's I don't know feelings, and also like there's lots of books and people talking about like how
Yeah.
you feel. Is this okay with you? Then we wanna do it. If it's not,
Yeah.
so yeah.
And I don't know, they're pretty rich here because they have like a lot of, yeah, everyone here can like ask help from the government if they are like a resident here. They get all the help that they get, and if they know it, I don't know, they're pretty rich.
So like maybe the clients that you're working with, maybe, or maybe like in general, you mean like the country. It's like
The country itself,
mhm.
because if people doesn't have a job here, they can receive money from the government,
Mm.
and if they have disability, they can receive money from the government. That's why
Yeah.
there's a lot of them doesn't work.
Well, yeah, that's true. We have something similar.
Why do you work if you can get money from the government? So
You know what's something interesting about that? To finish with that with this question too, is like we have in Argentina a similar system. So if you have a child, you have money. If you get married, they give you money, the government. If you get married, they give you money.
why?
If you get pregnant, you get money for each child. If wherever anything that happens in your life, basically you get money. But you see that the country is different. Like here, you can
Yeah.
see that basically all the parts in the country works, or it's at least it's working. But in Argentina, it's not. So there's something actually that probably they're doing better here than they not are in Argentina. But this system about giving money to people
Yeah, I
for
think there,
things. I have seen it in England as well. I did not expect that, and I saw they have the same system.
yeah, I think their system here is pretty good because it's all connected
Hmm.
with all the phone numbers and the government taxes. Whatever you do, it's like connected. So a lot of people pay taxes here. I think that's why they're
That's also
rich.
good, yeah.
And
That's
also we pay taxes too. So
Oh, that's the other
Yes.
thing. Yeah, we not only here, we also pay taxes. Oh yeah, that's all. The questions. I really appreciate that you decided to help me with this podcast. I don't have any single follower, to be honest, on social media, so I'm just doing it because I really love like languages and people's stories about how they decided to go to other countries and their experiences. And basically, that's what I want to promote, like people being confident, talking about their experiences and speaking in another language. Because at the end of the day, how I see learning or speaking in another language is not about how perfect you are. It's about that you are able to express what you want to say. We all make mistakes, and I could be I don't know, I could have the best job in life, but I still can make mistakes. And even this is the biggest thing. Even native speakers, they make mistakes that they don't even know because they don't study their own language, right? And we were talking about that. Probably we can I can invite you in another for another episode and talk about it. So that's my point. Like, I really appreciate that you decided to do this because it's not about if you sound native or if you speak perfect. Like, we did this, and we are all studying, and at the end of the day, that's what made us. So, any haters,
hopefully it helps.
hopefully, yes.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
My students, I'm students.